If lawlessness on this scale and of this extremity has no consequences, then it sends a signal to everybody else that you can behave in the same way, and the whole system begins to break down. It's encouraging that a bunch of countries have sought to hold Israel to account, and there's a very strong legal movement on many, many fronts. But ultimately, you need the states that matter to bring the pressure to bear on Israel. Germany and the United States supply 99% of the weapons exported to Israel. They could stop this conflict overnight if they stopped the weapons that kill the Palestinians.
The UN personnel and facilities, and also declared persona non grata, not only me, but
under international law, every government has an obligation not to export weapons to a country where there would be a clear risk that they would be used to violate international humanitarian law. So this is an obligation under the Geneva Conventions, the International Arms Trade Regulation regime. It's an obligation under the Genocide Convention in terms of the duty to prevent genocide if there's a risk of that in the other country. And it can also entail criminal responsibility under international criminal law. There is absolutely no basis under international law to preventively or preemptively disarm a country you don't like. I mean, if that were the case, it would be a recipe for global chaos, because lots of countries have adversaries they would like to see without weapons. This is completely lawless. There is absolutely no basis in international law to do it. But it's a continuation of what Israel has been doing in Syria for at least a decade.
But on international order, they will brief you today on the ongoing human rights violations.
Let me be very clear. Threats against the ICC promote a culture of impunity. They make a mockery of the decades-long quest to place law above force and atrocity. And sanctions in particular are a shocking possibility. If carried out, they would appear to amount to offenses against the administration of justice under Article 70 of the Rome Statute. Now that we have arrest warrants, we know that any effort to punish or impede or intimidate an official of the court, or to retaliate against an official of the court on account of duties performed by that official, amount to one of these crimes under Article 70.
so struck, many of them still normalizing the occupation, the repression of the Palestinians.
I'm gravely concerned that a number of states have reacted in exactly the opposite manner, verbally attacking the court, its judges, and the prosecutor, at times in language that is entirely inappropriate. Officials from one state labeled the court as anti-Semitic. And elected officials from another state characterized the court as a dangerous joke. Another called the ICC a kangaroo court and disparaged the prosecutors in terms I will not repeat.
The attack against the Gaza population.
Some of these statements have included threats of sanctions against court officials, and some have threatened even worse. U.S. officials in particular have made threats of sanctions against the prosecutor, and one U.S. senator issued a threat to specific states that are members of the ICC, saying, quote, "To any ally, Canada, Britain, Germany, France, if you try to help the ICC, we're going to sanction you." Another U.S. senator threatened military action.